Hey y'all, welcome back for another candy coated shenanigans Sour Patch Kid edition. As you can see, I'm very relaxed today. It is the first Sunday of the month, so you know what I do first Sundays of the month are self-care. As you can see, my skin is glowing, my lips are nice, my hair is plopped, but that's not the type of self-care we're doing today together. Do those solo, take care of yourself, love on yourself a bit, especially in this cold weather. But today's self-care is going to be on the spiritual side of self-care. I'm going to talk a little bit about therapy, and then a little bit about some other things that have come up for me that allow me to tap into spiritual self-care in a different way than I was before. So before COVID hit in December of 2019, I got paired up with my therapist, who is bomb.com. If you follow me on any social media platforms, you know I talk very highly of just the amount of help I have received between then and now. So I'm very grateful for her and the journey she has helped me on. If you guys are looking for a therapist, let me know. I'll ask her if I can share her stuff. I don't know how her client list is looking. But one thing that was very important for me in the process of finding a therapist was finding someone who was a Christian, right? Someone that could guide me through what I was going through with my feelings, but also had a good relationship with God in directing me. Not to say people who, not to say people who don't believe in God can't be a good therapist, but I was looking for something very intentional, especially because I felt like I was in a place where God was saying to me, you've done a lot of work solo, and now it's time to allow somebody else to step in to help guide and direct you through this journey. I know that that's what God was telling me, that it was time to open myself to telling my story to someone else so they could guide me in a different way than I can guide myself. I am a very self-reflective person. I'm very honest with myself, but sometimes you need that extra push for someone else to tell you need or you have to do something to listen. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh no, I don't think that's it. So she has definitely helped me along in my emotional journey, my psychological journey, as well as my spiritual journey. So love her. And I think therapy is something we need to normalize a lot more. I'm very quick to tell people that I go to therapy. And I guess the main reason is because there's stigmas, right? I look well put together. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. But your girl be needing assistance, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times we hear from people, you need to pray about it. You need to pray on it. You need to ask God. Yes, for sure, you do. But that's not to say that God is not out here telling people, you need to, unpack those feelings. You need a sounding board as you do that. Someone that can give you direct direction, guidance, instructions, do this, talk with them bi-weekly, whatever that is. And yes, God can be all those things, but we know firsthand as believers, or you're supposed to know, that God will bring all types of people in your life to be used and utilized in different ways so you can collab, so you can work together, so you can grow. So why we do not believe that God will allow people to come in your life to give you therapy and help you heal is beyond me. But I'll be the first one to say, I think everybody needs therapy. I think we all have things that have happened from birth to adulthood that a lot of us have buried, and it is a guide or a roadmap of how we handle people in the situations around us. But we don't want to deal with it, right? Maybe the map's taking us in the wrong direction, right? And I don't want to be traveling roads I ain't got to. So, therapy me. Okay. It's the therapy for me. Okay. So that is one side that was definitely helpful. I still go to therapy. She keeps me in check. Life is stressful, especially in a COVID world, and everything that is still up and coming pertaining to like me and life and this journey. So me and her are hitting a different journey together pertaining to therapy. Maybe I'll talk about it once I get into it a little bit more with her. But another thing that happened within this last year for me, in reference to the spiritual side of things and self-care, was my birth father passed away. He actually passed on Father's Day. And I had mixed emotions. I ain't even gonna hold you. I had mixed emotions. If you watch any of my stuff, then you've heard some of my story when it comes to my parents. But if you haven't, I'll just quickly let you know. I was raised by my aunt and my uncle, who are my mother and my father. I love them to life. They are truly the reason why I am the woman I am today. The spicy side, the fun side, the strict side, the determined side, like they've really done a lot and been very influential in my life. But I also have my birth parents, who both lived in the same city as me, probably like 10 minutes away. And it was rocky. As a kid, I didn't know much. Like, I didn't know better because that was the situation, right? And that's what I talk about when I talk about therapy. As a kid, you don't always know better. You just know that this is what is happening around you. And then as you grow up, different things mold and shape you that have protected you in life. And then you get a little bit older and you're starting to realize, okay, so some of this stuff ain't normal. So most of my life, I would say that I kind of suppressed a lot of the feelings I had towards my birth parents, and just thought it was kind of normal to function and funnel through life like that. And then once I got into maybe like my early 20s, some feelings started to surface. Some of those feelings are what drove me at the age of almost 30 something to go to therapy. I didn't realize it then though. And so that definitely molded and shaped a lot of my relationship as an adult with them. It's been hard at times. It's been rocky. It's been non-existent. So when my birth father originally had gotten sick, I was just like, okay, you're gonna have to mend some things. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. God definitely moved some things and shifted some things to make that a little bit easier. So I would say we were on decent terms when he passed away. So if you know me, you know that I'm very strategic, right? Everything to me can be handled like a math problem mentally. That's how I be feeling. That's not really how it works, but that's how I feel. So, he passed away, and I was sad he passed, and I was like, okay. And then in my mind, I'm over it. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like feelings. I do not like feelings. I don't like going through my feelings. I just let them go. So I felt what I felt, and then I felt like it should be over. So this was like within a couple of days, and I didn't take any time off of work because in my mind I didn't need time. Like, yeah, that's my birth father, but like our relationship wasn't solid for me to feel any type of way. And when I'm saying this, I'm just telling you how I felt, how I process things, which, I'm learning. So I was like, I don't feel no type of way. Like, I'm good. But he's fine, right? And that was not the case. I was not fine. I struggled. And the struggle was so hard for me because I couldn't understand why I had feelings for someone that I really didn't have like a real relationship with. Like, yes, I knew who he was. Yes, he had been around some when I was younger, but we didn't it wasn't my dad that raised me. Like, so what are you feeling? And I already don't like feelings, and I damn sure don't like feelings when I can't understand why I'm feeling what I'm feeling. Ooh, that irritates me. So I was really, really struggling. I was struggling to go to work. I was struggling at home. And I just was like, okay, I'm gonna feel this feeling. I'm gonna cry and it's gonna be over. And that's not what was happening. I guess that's not how feelings work. So a couple of friends had said to me, you need to start writing again. You need to journal. Some of them knew I had written, like I used to write. Some of them did not. It was just something that kind of came up. And so I started writing. All right. It took me probably like a good week between when they said it and when I started. Cause I was still trying to process, like, you hood. What is wrong with you? I guess I wasn't as good as I thought it was. So I started writing and I started journaling. And like, I didn't know what I was supposed to write about. Like, oh, you left. Oh, like, what am I supposed to write on this piece of paper? And so what happened very quickly was I went from trying to find out what I was supposed to just journal to actually writing poems. And what would happen, it would be a topic would hit me and I would write a poem about it. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, when people have to sit down and they're actually trying to pull content. And I would sit down and I could write an entire poem in 10 minutes and make it beautiful with a picture, and everything that I was seeing here would be right there on the paper. So I started doing that, and very quickly it would go from like writing a poem to writing 3-4 poems in a day. So probably from the time of the beginning of July to, I would say, about November, I cranked out a good 60 or 70 poems. I have them hidden away. Maybe something will come of them. I haven't fully decided yet. But in those poems, it was so raw, and it was so honest, right? And they would be poems about any and everything. I wrote my father a goodbye poem, and I wept over that. I have written friends poems about our friendships. I have written poems about where I stand in life. I've asked God questions. I've talked to myself. I've forgiven myself. Writing for me is so transparent. It's literally, a lot of them, poems that I've written are words that have never even left my mouth, right? They are thoughts that I've kept hidden inside for so long. And it was such a release. It was almost like, I was finding ways to turn all my problems over to God. I was finding ways to surrender the things I was writing about to God. So that was so healing in itself. I wrote about things that happened 10 years ago, and things that I thought I was over and had no impact on me. And I sat down one day and I wrote a poem, and I cried over that poem a little bit, and I made it look pretty, and it's in my poem book, and I moved along. And I'm sharing all of this, and I know it seems like a lot, but I'm sharing all of this because we all have a way to tap in to spiritual self-care. We all have a way to release, and everybody's way is going to be different. Mine, for sure, is writing. And so what I'm going to do, and what will probably happen, is I'm going to fast forward through a lot of this so you don't have to just sit here aimlessly. But I am going to take a couple minutes, and I am going to write a poem that will pertain to some type of spiritual self-care for me. Once I'm done writing it, I will read the poem, and then I will let you guys go along on your merry day. I hope this is helpful to people. I hope this makes you take a moment to sit down, sit someplace quiet where you're comfortable, and just journal it out, write it out, sing it out, dance it out, whatever it is that you need to do to release what you've been holding in, because we all hold things in, right? We're all so worried about what the world around us has to say in these judgment moments, that we hold things in that we need to release and turn over to God. So I am going to get to writing, and I will be back shortly to read what I come up with. And I'll make sure I post the final version, because even after I read it, once I've been given like a good 30-40 minutes, I usually change some things up, align it better, and make it look pretty. So that is what I'm going to do now for you guys. And if you would like, you are more than welcome to sit down and write as well. I already have a title. I was singing in my kitchen this morning already, and it kind of popped a title in my head as I was singing a song. So my title for this poem is Can We Talk for a Minute? Think about it for a second. It should not be something you labor over. It should be something that comes very quickly to you, something you're going through, something you're feeling that you need to write about. And pick up a pen and some paper, and let's get her done. All right, so let's see what I come up with. All right, so that didn't take me too long. I am going to read this to you guys, and then I'm gonna sit back and make it look pretty, and then I'll make sure I share it. So, as I said, the poem is titled Can We Talk for a Minute? And here it goes. Can I bother you for a moment? I've had so much on my mind, so many swimming thoughts that I haven't been able to find the time to just sit before you and pour out my heart's desires and conflicting thoughts. I've been questioning lately, is this you or me? To the point where I am just wanting you to scream out an answer for me. I have been conflicted about decisions I'm making. Is it you telling me to stop, or my self-sabotaging tendencies? This is all so frustrating. I'm completely out of my comfort zone, which is where I don't like to be. God, can't you just take a moment to talk to me? But not a whisper. I need you to speak loudly. I need you to be so direct and clear, because I need to know the road I am about to travel is the one that you have for me. I'm begging you to talk to me, because your silence sounds like a yes to me, but I'm scared to not hear from you before I take that leap. So for now, I'm sitting impatiently for you to find a moment to speak reassurance to me. And that poem is exactly where I'm at right now with some things. I feel it's a yes, but then I feel conflicted. And I also have a tendency to self-sabotage things when it comes to feelings, because I don't like feelings all the time. So I'm trying to figure out if it's a good thing that God is silent or if it's not. And sometimes my conversation with him is, God, you need to speak boldly, because I'm not going to hear a whisper right now. I'm not in a place or a season of whispering. I need you to speak boldly. So I know it is you telling me to move in one direction or not move in one direction. So really what I just did is I took the stuff that's swirling in my mind and I put it on paper. When you see this, after this, I'll put it at the very end. When you see this, it's probably going to look a little bit different. It'll look clean and polished, because this is just straight what was on my mind. So taking it from here and putting it on a sheet of paper. And now I will take some time with this, really concentrate on it, dissect it, review it, make it look a little bit prettier and share it out. But I just want to show a self-care moment when it comes to the side of spiritual. And be honest with you, we're all struggling in some way, shape, or form. We all have things that could be a little better in life, or that we want to speak with God about, but maybe we're nervous, maybe we're scared to let him know how we're feeling or thinking. Let's rewind. First of all, he already knows. Okay. Once it was a thought here, he knew. Before it was a thought, he knew, right? He created us. He is the creator of us. So he knew the things that would come or not come, or possibilities for each one of us daily. And then he gave us free will to kind of function around that, but he knows his children. So stop being afraid to just take a moment and write. And I mean, you can write about anything. I've written about a future husband. I've written about what he needs to be able to do and please me and all that. Like, that's my father. Okay. And if I can't keep it real with him, I don't know how I think about to keep it real with these people out here. Especially because he already knows. So take the time, really write something. If you want to inbox me or DM me something, or if you even want to chat like on how I started getting extremely comfortable with the process of writing and being honest to that degree with God, I'm down for it. And I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. God probably looking at me and be like, you've been real funny the last week or so, Ruby. And I have been. But I never stray too far away. So I'm going to get into this poem. I will share it. Click the subscribe. Share this with your friends. Take a moment and do some type of self-care. As I've been saying, whether you go back and you do something like your hair, your feet, your nails, skincare, whatever it is, but not only the physical self-care, but the spiritual, the internal components. Let's work from the inside out. And I guarantee you, when you start working from the inside out, your glow up, it changes. Don't get me wrong. Like, I got real good self-care. Okay. But I will tell you, when I started releasing inner secrets, when I started really diving into inner feelings, that's when, baby, honey child, that's when the glow up happens. That's when my hair looks better, my skin looked better. I was able to do makeup better. Like, I just felt like things were better, and they will continue to be better. So take that time, really dive into what it is that you need on the spiritual side, tap into it, and enjoy the process. I will see you all next week. It will be Make Money Make Sense Sundays. I don't remember the topic, but that's all right, because I'll be posting about it. All right, bye.